Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your February reading. As always, you can use this for your rising sign, your sun sign, and for your moon sign. Let's get started with the channeled information. And every month, while I'm selecting a deck and meditating before I read for you, usually information in the form of a word or an image comes through. This month, it was the word clear, but it came through very strongly as a verb. So what I got with this was mental clearing and spatial clearing. Mental clearing in the way of meditating and listening to maybe mantra music or meditative music that is going to help soothe your mind. Not so much music that's really loud or bombastic or kind of crazy. It's soothing music that's going to bring you, could be classical music for those of you that like that as well, or meditative music, or gong music, anything where the frequency is higher. It's going to resonate on a higher sort of level with your thoughts as well. In addition to this, the clearing card also has to do with physical objects in your house. So I don't have anything close by, but if you're looking at like a pillow, a mug, a lamp, and maybe it was a gift or it's been in the family for a long time, look at it, feel it, see is this bringing me joy? Do I have good memories associated with it, etc. And if so, great. If not, it might be time to move it into storage, or better yet, to recycle or sell it. All right, with that being said, let's get straight into your reading. And for those of you that are new, I separate this into health, wealth, love, and destiny after I do the general reading. So there'll be a chance to look at all of those main aspects of your life. All right, so let's give this a really good shuffle and see what sort of energy is coming through for you this month. It's hard to believe it's just been a month. The beginning of this year seemed a lot longer. I know there's been a lot of world events going on. There's been a lot of change, but let's see what's specifically coming through for Cancer. Well, lots of change for you as well. But let's pause, because I always like to pull a catalyst card as I look at this. And just like in science, catalyst is what can kind of help either create a reaction or can help mute a reaction a little bit here too. So I like to see, this is like that hidden energy that you can harness and manifest with. So what I see with this is actually a universal mother card when I read it, is the ability to take, and I'm looking at some sort of new beginnings or destructive elements here. So starting from a place of starting from scratch and creating something new. And there's also a divinity to this card, where it almost reminds me of one of those gods or goddesses that has several arms, which is showing that this month you really want to be reaching not just from where you're at the moment, but I want you to pull in I always talk about this in the readings, but it's really important to kind of align to your higher purpose. I see that there could be some situations falling away from you this month. When that happens, it's not punishment. I believe we're protected even when there's a disappointment or something that happens where we think, why did that happen? What you're actually having now this month is a chance to hit the reset button. And this card is saying, take that unknown as a growth opportunity. Something new can come from that, but you have to, it's almost like the Tower card, you have to let go of everything and begin with a new foundation. All right, so let's look at all of the cards now together to sort of further articulate that point. Your center card is the Fool. The Fool is reversed. The Fool card is about movement. All right, so I see that there's a little bit of delayed movement at the beginning of the month. You may be holding back on making a decision. The Fool often comes when you decide like, this is a chance for me to move, to have fewer strings attaching me to where I'm at. And so basically what I'm seeing with this is, don't be afraid to, if all other situations are allowing you, particularly finances, and I'm not really getting any financial problems right now. So if you have the financial freedom to do so, and this is about leaving a job for another one, then go for it. We have the Star card here, and this was what I was talking about, aligning to higher purpose. You are going to be put in the forefront this month. You may be called upon to either be more visible in your work role or your personal role at home than you have in the past. And this one is saying that if you do what your heart is telling you to do, you're going to be on the right path. If you start to kind of work against that grain, that's when things get bumpy. So really pay attention to your intuition, really pay attention to what you feel that you should be doing. You have a good sense for what it is. The star card also comes up when a really big opportunity presents itself. If you're ready for it, then you're going to shine. If you sort of cower or let it go, then there may be regret later. So I want to say, just be willing and ready to step up for that moment that you're going to have this month, and don't be afraid. When we look at the deep past, we have the Five of Swords in reverse. The Five of Swords reverse often has to do with wondering if you could have done better. Looking back and questioning people in your life. Sometimes, did they have the right, did they have your best interests at heart? Did they say something that, maybe was out of step, or did you say something? This is your past, and what I see with this is learn from it and then release it. Because the present energy is a lot better for you. When I look at recent past, we have the Four of Wands. It's reversed, but this is a card that even in reversal is pretty good. And a lot of times I get people complaining when I get a bunch of reverse cards. I read reversals because the energy is different. And what we're getting with this is there's a subtle shift happening, one that you're actually maybe not completely ready for. And so I love the fact that we're seeing the reversals. And trust me, when you have cards like the Devil and Death, it's actually better sometimes to get that reversed. What I see here with Eight of Wands in reverse is your top card, is that you're getting ready now to let go a little bit of all of the distractions in your life. Eight of Wands is a wonderful card. This shows me that you basically are capable of multitasking, doing a lot. There's a lot of opportunities presenting themselves, but you're starting to veer on the point of it being too much noise. So this card is showing that it's okay if things get quiet, don't panic. What I really want you to do is spend more time with introspection. So the Knight of Wands in reverse is about turning the thoughts inward, not becoming stubborn or set in your ways, but really thinking and allowing you, whatever it is that you need to sort of decide on. Maybe it's a big life change, change of address, which is the Fool reversed perhaps, or leaving someone, because we have a couple of cards here showing that a relationship could be coming to a close. Or there could be a situation in your life that's naturally coming to a close. You're going to need time to mentally work through the pros and the cons, and also the sort of mourning process, if that's the case for you. Your ego card here is the Chariot reversed. So one of your biggest challenges this month is going to be letting go. Because the Chariot card upright is really about being able to orchestrate everything. Think of it as the the conductor, who can basically control everything going on. When this card is reversed, it's basically saying, I'm so sorry, there's going to be some things going on that you may not anticipate, but as we said earlier, I don't believe accidents happen. I think a lot of things are blessings in disguise. Now, your environment card is one we should talk about. Whenever I see the Devil card, I like to just block out the guy in the background, because that really isn't what it's about. If you pull the card really close and look at the two characters here, it's about being tied down, or it's about not being available. The chains are much more important than this, which is really a manifestation of your fears. This is not literal. So when I'm looking at the Devil in reverse, for those of you that are perhaps in a new relationship, you really want to look at your partner and see, are they ready? Because Devil reverse can mean someone who is not in the same sort of emotional state as you are. So maybe you're ready to settle down and they're not, or vice versa. They want to get married and start a family, and you just want to spend time with someone that you like and not commit so quickly. So there's something in a new relationship perhaps that you need to look at. For those of you that are in a long-term marriage, even if it's very successful, this card comes up when there can be a little bit of underlying tension. And this could have to do with, maybe one of you stayed home to take care of the kids and is feeling antsy and is ready to go back to work and wants the other partner's assistance. Or maybe there's some money problems that are making you unable to sort of move forward with travel plans or school plans that you had. Whatever it is, the best way to get rid of this card is actually to face the quote-unquote devil in your life head on, because it only has power when you sweep it under the rug. And that's the beauty of this. And that's actually how you work with, if you're feeling any sort of negative energy in your life, in your house, or in your dreams, the way to diffuse it, surprisingly, is to face it. And to face it with love, acceptance, and not feeling like, oh my God, I'm trapped. Because the more you fear it, you hate it, and you feed it, the bigger it gets. and that's when El Diablo pops up. But it's not really that bad unless you don't face it, if that makes sense. So let's take a quick look at the fears and the opportunities here. We have the Death card in reverse. So what does that mean? Death card reverse is about restructuring. When it's upright, it means that there is a full stop that has happened. There's been something radical that's changed. It's transformation. When it's reversed, it means you have a role in this, or you have a little bit of precognition into what's going to be changing in your life. So for those of you that are in a working situation where there's been talks of a merger or layoffs or restructuring, this card means that you've usually heard it in the hallway many, many months in advance, and this card is showing that probably some of this will be happening for those of you in that situation. But the outcome card is positive. So we have the Page of Cups. That means for those of you that are going through that change event, I'm going to pull the camera down so you can see the series of cards. So lack of control, fear over the unknown, needing to let go but resistance to perhaps to do so. Ultimately, though, once you've allowed these changes to happen and basically realize that you're a participant in it, you're not a victim to it, and if you go with basically the winds of change, then a new sense of fulfillment can sort of enter your life. And this can also mean new love. So for those of you that may be getting out of a relationship, perhaps with a very difficult fire sign, because we have the Knight of Wands reversed, it can also be a difficult Aquarius. I sometimes associate the star with Aquarius. Whichever that may be, or just, you're ready to move on, what I see is new and better love coming in for you. For those of you that are in a good relationship, this just means life changes, and life changes for the better. So what I think the main message for you, even before we get to the summary part at the end, is to embrace those general events that are starting to unfold that you kind of knew were going to happen, but maybe weren't ready for. Because, much like this sort of universal mother or fertility card here, in the absence, in the loss, comes opportunity. The universe started as nothing and something came from it. So sometimes we need the negative to allow for new things to come in, okay? Let's now expand your forecast and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. And we'll get a little bit more idea of what the changes are and perhaps how you can adjust to them. So let's look at your health. A lot of times when I read health, wealth, love, and destiny, I get other messages, but they usually do affect those areas of your life, so just bear with me. So thankfully this one was very straightforward. The advice here is to take care of your body, but your subtle body as well. So energy healing being Reiki. It can also be acupuncture, massage therapy. This isn't just Western medicine. This is any type of healing through even also sound healing through like singing bowls and crystal healing. Go new age on yourself this month and have fun. Like really embrace the metaphysical. And for those of you that are thinking, you know what, my budget doesn't allow it, etc., I want to show you that you can actually like go outside and get just a regular rock or quartz crystal. It doesn't have to be as refined as this quartz crystal, for instance. They're going to have very similar energy. And I had a really great Reiki teacher once when I was having a sort of a difficult day that said, please just go outside, grab whatever rock or stone kind of calls to you and hold it in your hands and meditate for a second. She wouldn't even talk to me until I grounded myself. So one thing that you can do for grounding and meditation is just to go outside. If you want to clean off the rock, that's fine. But actually, if it's just in the dirt, that little bit of soil is going to help ground you as well. So pick a rock. You don't have to spend 20 bucks on a rock. You can go outside and get it. It's a free resource. And just a little bit of free metaphysical advice there. When and if you have time and money, these are great, but they're not necessary for meditation, okay? And they're not necessary for energy healing either. You can just do that with your own power of your own mind, but those tools help amplify it. So do whatever you can to help heal, because what's going to happen when you have cards like this and you have cards like this is that a lot of times you'll have sort of energetic pulls or cords that are attaching to people, places, and things in your life, and the energy healing is going to help clear them. All right, let's take a look at wealth and finances in your life. And this card is what wants to come through. So don't be afraid. Basically, the Courage card is saying, for those of you that actually have a a distinct role in making that change happen. So maybe you want to give notice, or maybe you want to start your own business. This card is saying basically call upon your inner strength and courage to go forward with it. The color of this is also really focusing on the lowest and highest chakras. So we're looking at your first chakra, your third chakra, and your seventh chakra. So seventh is here, third's around here, and your first is at the base of the spine there, around the sexual organs. So what those have to do with, the first one is about your relationships and your well, not your relationships, I'm sorry, it's more about security and fear. So working to sort of to negate those, to find a way to face the fears and embrace whatever it is in your life that's going to bring more security and safety. Also feeling like you're grounded and part of the earth. That's why I was going and grabbing the stone there. That yellowish one that's more like solar plexus, and that has much more to do with your relationships. And this outer color has a lot to do with connecting to spirit. So through meditation, through religion, through just allowing yourself to connect with nature, because God and the universe sort of permeates all of those. So whatever feels good to you, find a way to do that. Okay? When we look at your health, wealth, let's look at your love situation. By the way, since that was related to wealth, one thing that you can do too is visualizations for your future. So thinking about what you want and allowing your dreams to help that manifest, to bring it closer. So let's look now at love. All right, so we have spiritual teacher. So this month, instead of finding just a relationship, like either a sexual relationship or a romantic relationship, what I think many of you are going to find is teaching or mentorship relationships. It's a really good month to either be a mentor or a mentee. So decide what you want to sort of immerse yourself in and allow that to happen. But really good time to spend energy with metaphysics and meditation, learning some new spiritual practices, etc. And when we look at your destiny card, I'll turn the camera down so we can shuffle this. Give it a good shuffle. Good. Your destiny card is, I love it, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. So love this, because we really are able to pull in light in any situation. And I really feel like this is the answer to this card. So this again was pulling at you. This is almost like calling on the universe to help bring in that which you seek. And this almost to me looks like a transporter beam. And I'm going to read it as such, which is you can call into being whatever you really want, but you have to let go of the feelings of despair, of fear, etc., and think, I can feel it coming to me. And just like this sort of like transporter beam that you're seeing, you can actually call in your future. So be very positive, because if you're negative about yourself, then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I say it a lot, but it bears repeating. All right, let's summarize, and I'll leave the camera down so you can see all these cards while I do so. Your channeled information was to keep a clear mind and a clear house, and I really wanted it to come through as a verb. So it is mental clearing, literally clear your thoughts and pick up objects in your house and decide, do I want to keep it, like this mug? What do I feel when I have this? Is it a positive feeling or negative feeling? Your catalyst card was to be that divine mother this month, to allow for the space to be opportunity, not to be frightening. When we look at your spread of cards this month, your center card is the Fool reversed, basically reminding you that changes are going to happen whether you like it or not. Some of them they may make you feel uneasy because of the fact that you're not going to be able to see what's ahead. The Fool kind of has to move forward on intuition and hope and a prayer sometimes. Speaking of which, the closer you sort of get to what you want to do, the more successful you're going to be with the Star card here. For those of you that are literally sort of celebrities, writers, artists, this card is very good. It means that you're going to have chances to put your work out there a little bit more. I see a need to let go of probably what was a disappointment over the past couple of months where you couldn't resolve an argument or a situation. And it's time to let yourself off the hook for that and let things go. I see better relationships forming this month, a little bit of an ease in the schedule. It won't be as hectic for you. A lot of introspection happening for you. Try not to go too deep so that you're like blocking out other people or blocking other things, but I think a little bit of introspection is good for you. It's going to be difficult to control at least two elements in your life right now. I feel like there's a relationship or an environmental thing that's pulling you down or not allowing you to move forward. And either that or perhaps another relationship is needing to come to a close. The sooner you allow that to come to fruition and sort of work its way out of your life, the happier you're going to be. As we expand your forecast in Health, Wealth, Love, and Destiny, really good month for energy healing, whether you're doing that on yourself or having someone else do the energy healing for you, it's fine. Just work on that. Being courageous when it comes to your money affairs and your work, meditating and thinking positively about those things as well. For relationships, really build mentor and mentee relationships, teacher and student relationships this month. That's going to be where the most growth is happening. If you do call in a partner, a divine partner, there may be a teaching moment as well. And for any relationship this month, there's a teaching moment. So work through that and then afterwards decide if you still want to be in that relationship. And we talked a lot about this, about literally calling in almost like a beam of energy or a transporter beam, pulling in the dream of what you want and call that into the emptiness or the opportunity of the present. If you do that, I believe that you have a lot of positive momentum that you can achieve over the course of this month. So for any of you that would like a one-on-one reading, I absolutely do offer those. I'll put a link in the corner or an embedded link if you're looking on a mobile device. You just click on the little eye. Otherwise, if you just like to keep in touch, every month someone says, when are the next meetings coming up, or the next readings coming up? Really the easiest way is just to subscribe to the channel, but I also have a newsletter which will answer that question, and you'll be like the first ones to receive it whenever I post. So highly recommend you sign up for that, especially if you want to know the second I post videos. Sign up for the newsletter. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Likewise, I always post to all of those in tandem when the new readings are up, so it's a great way to keep in touch. And I'm also trying new things with Facebook, doing some live videos occasionally, and I'll be doing that with YouTube as well. I'll try it with Instagram once I figure that out. It takes a little bit of tweaking, and it's not as much time as you can spend on those. So anyway, last thing, if you'd like to support the channel, there's also a link that in the end frame, or also using that little I link, where you can send a donation, but that's completely optional. Otherwise, I just want to say thanks, because every month you guys are fantastic about positive comments, reinforcement, and sharing videos and everything. So thank you for that support and advocacy. It makes this channel possible every month. So keep it up, and thank you so much. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you again in about 30 days. All right, take care of yourself. Satnam. Bye-bye.